The following ad read is not sped up, but I'm taking this steroid for an allergic reaction I got, and it's really making me talk fast. I kind of feel like I can do anything, like anything. I might try and lift a car. I can definitely lift a car. At least one of those small cars, maybe not a truck, but those cars that fit in the spaces that say compact car only on the ground. Come to think of it, this is the same feeling I get when I eat sugary cereals with all the junk in it. Oh yeah, this is fun. Man, I'm going to crash. Cereal can taste good and be healthy and not make you a jitterbug like me. Jitterbug. That's a funny word. How about some Magic Spoon? Check the stats on this cereal. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs, and 140 calories a serving. Only 140 calories. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And you can build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle. Cookies and cream and maple waffle were first introduced for a limited time, but now they're back permanently because they sold out extremely quickly. So fast, you don't want to talk as fast as this. Go get yourself some cookies and cream and maple waffle today. Magic Spoon is healthy and delicious, perfect for a guiltless midnight snack. Go to magicspoon.com/nodunks to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Why did this housewife buy beef that didn't please her family? While this one selected delicious steaks for her family. The answer is easy. She knows how to buy beef. She doesn't.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, December 22nd, and we're back in the Classic Factory for another test run. I'm Jay Skeets alongside me. As always, we've got Tas Joey.
My man JD just said I had Major J from Big Mouth energy in that ad read.
You do.
Yes, totally.
Do you have sex with a pillow?
Sometimes. See, that kind of banter is the kind of thing you get from being live together.
That's right. Making the magic happen, it is super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. And fingers crossed here, joining us live, thanks to the power of technology, from Lake Holiday, it is Trey Kirby.
Should be there.
Is he there?
Hold on.
Oh,
see, we jinxed it. There he is.
Hey-o.
Hey. Still working out the kinks here, Trey Kirby, but you're looking good in a nice detachable hoodie. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I'm coming to you live from the Breezeway here in Lake Holiday. Real name, no gimmicks. I do spend a lot of holidays in a place called Lake Holiday. The Breezeway, also known as
the foyer,
a place where there are a lot of coats on. And right behind me in this chair is a large chest full of various headwear that belongs to my in-laws. So every time we take a break here, I'm just going to go deep into the box and see what I can pull out. First things first, a detachable hood, man. This is just nice for right now. Keeping my ears warm, keeping my neck nice and tight. I don't like to show my neck anymore. Being very self-conscious. But yeah, people are calling me Little Red Riding Hood. I'll accept it.
Yeah, I love a hoodwear chest. That's a great idea. I'm always scrambling for my winter gear when I need it. 3 days a year here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I'll bring you some if you want.
It's like a dickie for your head.
A full head dickie.
Yeah. All right, shout out to the stream team here.
Not usually what that means.
Shout out to the stream team joining us live on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share the show. Also, of course, some love to the pod squad and the Discord horde. That's the new one. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Keep them coming for when we step on the beach. Maybe we'll get to a few of your cues tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok @NoDunksInc. Grab your No Dunks merch. like these two beautiful hoodies and sweaters that Tas and I have on here. Oh, and twins! Wow. I didn't even notice that.
Twinsies, not planned.
And if you're, in need, let's say, of a last-minute Christmas gift, may I suggest getting someone special in your life an athletic subscription? That'd be pretty good.
That's a nice one.
It'd be a baller gift. You can get all of our pods ad-free. You can get the best damn sports journalism in the world. Go to theathletic.com/nodunk so they know that we sent you. Okay, Trey, we're going to get into the games here, but a little later in the show. I know you demanded that you were on this show because I will be going through the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog and picking some gifts for you guys. Yes, catalogs, plural.
This is big time.
Remember last year? I didn't even have one. Some guy named Brent Ferrari, Vroom Vroom, had to send me one. But now I got two of them. So we'll do that later in the show. That's a holiday tradition here in the No Dunks world. But some game talk from last night. Not the sexiest night.
A little lackluster. Let's be honest.
Little lackluster. But let's start with Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, each scoring 26 as the Heat roll past the Pacers, 125-96. Tas, get us started.
Well, I wanted to start with this game because I wanted to make the point that the Miami Heat are absolutely elite. Even though they're not atop the Eastern Conference standings, they are still up there. No Bam, no Jimmy Butler, who haven't been there for almost half the games. Those two guys have been there for just over half the games, each of them. One stat that's indicative of a team being elite throughout the season that would indicate that they could go to the finals. You know basketball, Skeets. What's a team mark or a team stat that indicates at the end of the season whether or not a team can go to the finals?
I'm guessing, let's say top 5 in both offensive and defensive.
Well, at least top 10.
Top 10.
At least
top 10. Top 10.
You got to be top 10 if you're going to the finals.
I sort of know basketball.
Yeah, well, the Miami Heat are right there. The Miami Heat are almost top 5. They're top 5 offense, top 8 defense.
Okay.
And again, with their two best players barely playing 50% of the games. And we said before the season, are the Miami Heat deep enough? Beyond those guys are Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker. Are those guys going to give them enough? The Miami Heat laugh at that. Did you see Max Strus last night? That guy gave you 4 threes. He gave you 8 threes last week. He's going to continue to do that. Gabe Vincent, he comes in and plays point guard. This team seems like they have an endless amount of guards. Caleb Martin, he could be the Trevor Ariza from the 2009 Lakers title team. He could be the Jay Crowder from the 2020 bubble. They have so many guys that aren't going to stop producing. So this team is deep enough. And we had this conversation when Trey was in person here, when he wasn't on a lake holiday. We talked about Duncan Robinson, who had fallen off this year. He hasn't been himself. And we discussed maybe they needed to go get a scorer. And Trey, I wonder if you still feel the same way about the Duncan Robinson for Eric Gordon deal that we talked about, or is Duncan just proven that this guy is a little too important to the Heat offense now that he's playing better?
I don't know, Tas. Miami runs on Duncan. He was on fire last night, and that's the key for the Heat, I think, a lot of times, is when their three-point shooting is there, they look really good, like you're saying. Duncan Robinson, it seems like he's just going to kind of settle into a role where he is a great three-point shooter and maybe not a historically elite three-point shooter, which is a huge ask for anybody, but he knows their system. He knows where he's going to get his shots. He obviously competes defensively and has some size, so maybe they're more content to kind of stick with what they know rather than bringing in Eric Gordon, having to get him up to speed. But when you see him shooting the way he was last night, you can understand why they would stand pat.
Yeah. Didn't you ask on Twitter, like you threw it back out there, like, would anybody do this? Would the Heat consider trying to get like a vet in Eric Gordon for something like Duncan Robinson? I saw a lot of responses like, are you crazy? Basically, like, no way. It was only a matter of time until Duncan Robinson sort of got out of his shooting funk here. He's younger. Contract's better, you're sticking with him. Makes sense.
Yes, it does. I would be in that camp for sure. The most vocal of the fans coming at me, we're definitely Miami Heat fans, right. And they're running on Duncan. I get it, and that's, I think, the right move. We're going to talk about other teams in the next few minutes that are old. We're going to talk about the Lakers. We're going to talk about even the Knicks don't have that young little injection that you need some youth when it comes to especially the regular season. And so it's nice to have Duncan Robinson running out there. And he's got a little bit more gravity than Eric Gordon, even though Eric Gordon is a little bit more proven because he's been around a lot longer. You got to throw bodies. Think about the playoffs and how many bodies you got to have on Duncan Robinson, trailing him, watching him every single possession. So I do think that's important. And I just think this depth that Spurs like to see the guys I mentioned, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and Max Strus. Cool to have a guy who has 8 letters in both his first and last name combined.
That
you
used
don't
to
see
keep
that.
me up at night. I've told you that before.
What do you mean by that?
I used to lie in bed at night and try and think of the shortest name that I knew, letter-wise. I've said this before.
Yeah.
My uncle Al Kane, that's 6 letters.
I don't think you can beat that.
It's pretty damn short, right? And I would lie there for hours, Trey.
Ty Lue.
Ty Lue's a great. I mean, that's the thing. Like even Al, his real name's Alan. Do you get a? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I didn't sleep much as a child. Just lying there thinking of that. I did have one.
It's all right, Skeets. I used to like to lay in bed and just count to 100 every night, but the next night I would start at like 101 to 200.
Wow.
So then, like over the course of a week, I could count to 700.
Cool.
I know. What's with counting, man?
Oh, that's
fun when you're a kid.
That's what you do when you only have 9 letters in your name. Like you're on the short list. Like
yeah, it's boring, man.
Exactly.
Like, 9. Might as well count to 100 tonight.
My final note from this Heat Pacers game, and I was actually texting Trey or slacking him, I guess. I couldn't remember the way Trey, your exact quote for when a team is up huge in the first half. And we ultimately got to it. You finally responded to me. You're having too much fun in Lake Holiday. You were like, first half leads aren't real, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to, so I was going to tweet it at halftime, and I was going to say, my man Trey Kirby says first half leads aren't real in the NBA. Meaning, of course, like you can be up 20, 25, and almost every team comes back. And there's some truth to that. But in watching this Pacers Heat game, I was like, there is no way the Pacers are coming back. They looked so disinterested. But I didn't tweet it because I didn't know how he said it. I couldn't remember if it was first half leads are fake, first half leads aren't real, first half leads are a mirage. And so by the time Trey got back to me, it was like midway through third quarter.
You needed an exact quote.
Yeah, I was going to tweet it, and then I'm like, I can't have TK coming back at me on Twitter saying that's not actually how. I couldn't have a John Schumann situation, actually, on my hands, so I avoided it.
Well, actually, Skeets, if you would have tweeted that, I would have came back at you with a good grief.
Yeah, you need that reminder, don't you? But, I mean, the point is, and they talked about this on the TNT show, like, are these trade rumors, I mean, are they affecting this squad? And how could they not? In Turner and Sabonis, maybe even Karis LeVert. Now, Brogdon left this game with an ankle injury, I believe it was, right? He played like a handful of minutes, so that sucks for them and their chances to be in this. But they just looked so out of this game. Like they couldn't care less to be playing it. And again, maybe it's just all these plucky Heat guys are giving it to them. I don't know what type of game that was in terms of their schedule. Was it 3 and 4? I don't think it was a back-to-back. But anyway, like I think there's some weight to them right now with like, oh, your name's in trade rumors. Your name's in trade rumors. Your name's in trade rumors.
I think the Pacers are who they thought we were. Who they thought we were. What? I'm just saying.
Who we thought they were.
Yeah. Who we thought they were. I mean, they're backwards in that they have a positive point differential because they win in blowout fashion, but they can't close anybody out. They don't know who they are in close games. And I think that's just an indicator of what they are, really. They picked it up after the trade rumors. They went on a little winning streak. They went on a 3-game winning streak. Yeah, but they've come back to earth.
Yeah.
That's who they are. I think they're just lacking in terms of their end of game chemistry. They have had guys in and out of the lineup as well. The Karis LeVert thing has been big with his injury. Yeah, I think for them to declare it and say we just don't want to run on this treadmill of mediocrity anymore. I praise them for that because that doesn't happen in the NBA very often. I mean, it's happening behind the scenes, I'm sure. GMs are calling all over the place, but you don't really see somebody come out and say, "Hey, let's GM over here, you guys get into a trade war and just do it and just have a conversation about it." And I guess they're saying it to their fans as well. I mean, if it is happening behind the scenes, I guess they're saying to their fans, listen, this is a struggle of a season for sure. Just like I struggle to say this is who we thought they were. But I mean, there's empty seats in Indiana all over the place. And I guess they're saying to the fans, just hang in there. We're going to make a trade. Hopefully there will be some hope for this team. I think, there's some chemistry issues on the floor, but it's an unfortunate situation in a team that's supposed to be basketball country. I mean, Lake Holiday is not super close to Indiana, is it, Trey? But are you thinking?
No, it's not.
You're not thinking about going to Bankers Life Fieldhouse?
Well, I'm actually going to be seeing a Pacers game. It's Bulls Pacers December 26th. So I'm kind of curious to see what team is out there from more than one standpoint.
Okay. Well, let's keep going from the games from last night. Trey, get us started here. Ingram and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, good old Canadian boy. They shoot the Pelicans past the Blazers 111-97. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, this was a really fun game. I was watching this while Laura and her mom were catching up on the new Sex and the City. And unlike Carrie, Nah came up in the clutch. Fourth quarter takeover for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He had 18 points in the fourth quarter, including 5 threes. I loved his quote after the game because he said, "I'm trying to not be in the moment." Nickeil Alexander-Walker said, one of the things I was thinking, don't shoot it if it's not there. Don't do the heat check if it's not there. I love that kind of anti-confidence. He also said, for me, it's just about not getting into the moment. You hear a lot about staying in the moment when you're playing. I love that Nickeil Alexander-Walker was like, I am too on fire for this to be making sense, so I got to just play it cool. And he definitely did play it cool. He was awesome in the fourth quarter, hitting threes, driving to the hoop, and just kind of looking like the quickest, fastest guy out there. Damian Lillard had a nice game. He had 39 points coming on the heels of 32 and 43. However, his last basket in this one was with 6 minutes and 51 seconds left. That brought the Blazers within 2, but the defense really picked up for the Pelicans. Dame started to get a little tired. He had the team on his back for the entire night. Pelicans finished this one on a 19-5 run, which was the ball game there. The Pels' size definitely got to the Blazers, I thought, 44-31 on the glass for New Orleans. Nurkic was a real non-factor, I thought, in this one, and Brandon Ingram had the most length of anybody on the wing between the Pelicans and the Blazers. He went for 28 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Looked like a matchup problem, but this was a really nice win for New Orleans. They started 1-12, 10-9 since.
Yep.
They're only 2 games back of the 10th seed right now. Zion theoretically is going to come back this season, and maybe there's a little motivation now if the Pelicans are actually going to be able to play a little bit of defense and play 500 basketball. They dug themselves a huge hole to get out of, but nobody's running away with 9th and 10th in the Western Conference. So they're going to probably have a chance if they're able to go on a little bit of a streak here.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram might be playing like the best basketball of his career right now. I know a lot of people probably aren't watching or care, but over his last 10 games, he's averaging 27 points per game, shooting 50 from the floor, fantastic, 35 from 3 on a decent amount of attempts. That's good. You know, he gets to the line, 6 and 6 in the rebounds assist category, throwing in a steal, doesn't turn the ball over a ton. He's playing really, really well. Again, it's probably going to go under the radar. I was excited to see Nickeil Alexander-Walker have a good game. That was my most improved pick.
Same.
You know, throwing a dart at the wall on that one. And he's had moments. You see the flashes like we saw last night, but not consistent enough. But yeah, just another bad Blazers loss, like Trey said, even though they had strung together a couple wins. And the Pelicans, that's 4 straight now. And they're in the mix here in the West, at least in the mix of a play-in game.
They are 2 games out of the play-in tournament. That's what the implementation of this play-in tournament is all about. This team that's towards the bottom has hope. They're only 2 games out. Of course they have hope. Yeah, after starting 3-16, they're 8-5 since. That's a great record when you look at it that way. But can it be a bad loss and a good win at the same time? It has to be one side or the other, right? It has to be. It has to be we shouldn't have lost this game, like the Timberwolves game we'll get to, because they're playing an undermanned Mavericks team. So if the Blazers had a bad loss, I mean,
well, hold on. When the Grizzlies beat the Thunder by 73 points, I would consider that a good win for the Grizz. Bad loss for the Thunder.
But it wasn't a good win because it was such an undermanned OKC team. That's what I mean. That's what I mean in terms of
you
the
have
players.
to pick one, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And ultimately, what is the answer last night then in the Pelicans Blazers game to test?
I think it was a good win.
Okay,
good win. Pelicans keep taking care of business. Yeah, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Yeah, the look like the fastest guy on the floor at times. He's definitely the thinnest. He wears a short to show off those legs. He went on a run there where he scored 15 straight for the Pelicans, and he was wide open a lot of that time.
Yeah.
They forgot about anyone other than Brandon Ingram. Even Josh Hart, nice chip in with 20 points in this game. Blazers need a secondary scorer. The difference was in these two teams Pelicans got a secondary score, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, while the Blazers, you'd think if Nurkic is chipping in 17 and Powell chipped in 16, that they have a decent chance to win with Damian Lillard having a good game, looking like himself lately. 39, as Trey mentioned, dropping 43, 32, and 39 in his last three. You think the Blazers would hold up. But I think that as Lillard definitely got tired at the end, I think he's got to do a little better job of trying to eke out some points from the corners. Tony Snell's waiting there. He needs somebody to create for him. He was an offer in this game. Anthony Simons had a bad game. I think they need help. And this team usually gets enough done on offense because they have CJ McCollum out there. And yeah, I know it's been a bad season overall for this Blazers team.
These two teams that we just talked about that lost last night, the Pacers and the Blazers, if we are here in February after the trade deadline and they have the exact same rosters, I'm not coming in. Honestly, I'm not, because at least one of these squads has to shake it up.
One of them, for sure.
And both of them truthfully do, as we've said time and time again.
Hey, I'll tell you, that would be a bad loss. If you're not here, that's a bad loss.
It's a good win for you guys.
It would be weird. It would be weird if not one of these teams makes a big move. But I was listening to the Pelicans broadcast, and Joel Myers, our friend Joel Myers, great to hear his voice.
Yeah.
I do think he snuck in toward the end of this game that we were going through all the stats about the Pelicans finding their way. Willie Green getting this team going after that 3-16 start. I do think he snuck in. It was hard to listen, hard to hear with all the Pelicans fans going, but I think he snuck in that Zion Williamson, if and when he comes back, it wasn't an if, it was more like a when he comes back. So what about that insertion to the roster? You don't have to do anything if that guy comes back. I know now
that's a good win if he comes back.
Huge win.
Big win.
Yeah, I'm gonna cite the alphabet tonight, and when I get to Z, I'm gonna say Zion as I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yes, as I say Z.
Doesn't that wake you up? Just snap you out of it, or like every
when
time?
I say
like
Z?
you say A, B, C, like you're getting sleepy, and then you get to the end, and then you have to think, I'm in America, should I say Z? I'm Canadian, I have to say Z. And then you're back to being awake.
Thankfully, I have to think about a lot of things, but the ABCs kind of come natural, so I don't have to think too much about if I'm going Z or I'm going Z.
Okay, let's get to this next game. I was so excited to talk about it. I threw up the lower third by accident when we started. Jalen Brunson scored 26. The replacements helped the Mavs beat the Wolves right on the heels of Lee Ellis being excited about the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, don't get excited
but
about
what
the
do you
Timberwolves.
think? Yeah.
Although this game started fantastically, because if you remember last week, Karl Anthony Towns said, I'm the best big man shooter in the world.
Right.
And Dirk Nowitzki was on the broadcast for the Mavs. He was calling the game, and we have the clip when Karl Anthony Towns hit a big shot. Play it, JD.
Tough shot. Yeah, step back by Karl Anthony Towns.
There's
Okay.
the best. Oh, he's feeling it early. He's the best shooter, big man in the world. There he is.
Yeah,
No.
Dirk took it to heart. Dirk took it to heart. He loved it. He loved it. And then I threw that up on Twitter. People saying to me, "Well, if we just separate the best 3-point shooter, big man of the game, is it Karl?" That's not what he said. But anyways, maybe he's talking current players, and that's cool. But I love Dirk on the broadcast. That felt good, and I love watching a left-handed point guard out there. I know there's James Harden, there's D'Angelo Russell, but I don't know, Jalen Brunson, when he's got it going, it's cool. It's just cool to see a left-handed point guard. Obviously, Luka not there, so he was really running the show. He dropped 26, and he outplayed D'Angelo Russell on the other side. That's what it came down to in this game. Jalen Brunson doing a great job of setting guys up, and D'Angelo Russell was fine as well, setting guys up. He just couldn't shoot. And Jalen Brunson, this was a good win for the Dallas Mavericks, because Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, two max guys on the other side, were suiting up. The Mavs didn't have Luka. They didn't have Porzingis, but they were working their asses off. Frank Ntilikina was getting back on defense. They were absolutely getting the most out of this roster. So there's some juice in this win for the Dallas Mavericks. That's a good W.
Yeah, you had Theo Pinson. Remember him? Marquise Chris. Remember him?
Yeah.
These guys are in Mavericks uniforms right now with everybody else out of the lineup and health and safety protocols, and they got it done. And Trey, I was thinking of you. I feel like it was you when I was doing my all-NBA good gord team, and I wanted Dorian Finney-Smith in the mix. And you guys were like, I don't know. He's not that good. He's not on that level of a good gord. And I was like, okay, maybe you guys are right. But this was the example that I was thinking of when I had Finney-Smith on the brain. I thought he was really solid for the Mavericks last night, and you do get these little flashes from him, and That makes him a good gord in my book. God damn it.
Hey, man, that was a good gourd game.
Yeah.
A triple G for DFS yesterday. 3 for 9, though, Skeets, from 3. I mean, 33%. And the guy's supposed to be a shooter. That's why, to me, he's a streaky guy.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah, he should be approaching good gourd status. That's when the Mavericks look at their best. When Dorian Finney-Smith is having a good gourd. My favorite part of Dirk on the broadcast last night, at one point they had, Boban had scored like 6 straight points or something like that. And he was really taking it to Karl Anthony Towns down low. And they were talking about, well, he might not be able to stop Karl Anthony Towns, but at least he's going to try to foul him out. And Dirk said, yeah, I did that a lot of times back when I was playing. Almost every single night I was the worst defensive player, so I would just try and outscore my guys, then come into the locker room and say, hey, I won my matchup. What was wrong with the rest of you guys? That's how you play basketball.
that's how Trey Kirby plays basketball.
yeah, what was the score for the foreman? 10-9? We're good.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it was pretty great to have him on the call. Unfortunate that a lot of their guys were not playing like they're big guys. It would have been fun to hear Dirk, comment more on Luka and KP and all that, but they got the victory. And yeah, you said it was a good Dallas Mavericks win.
I'd call it that.
Again, it's a classic. Cat played great, and I was like, this is these are the wins they have to get for us to truly buy them as a legit playoff team.
Oh yeah, you know what? I go back on my idea that it needs to be one or the other. It was a bad loss.
Oh, there we go.
And it was a good win for the Mavericks.
Okay,
I think they can share that. It's unfortunate for the Wolves. Yeah, Cat looking great.
He needs to shoot more though. For the best shooting big man of all time, he only took 14 shots, went to the line 5 times, so that's another 3 attempts. The guy should be leading the team in shot attempts every single night, especially when Anthony Edwards isn't playing. So for me, I always come back to, were you watching the wrong gorilla fight videos for this one? When Karl Anthony Towns has a 35 and 15 game, I'm like, you should favorite that and watch that gorilla fight video every single time, because nights like a 14 attempt night, that just can't happen if you're really trying to make the playoffs. That to me is a little disappointing from Towns.
All right.
You can't be third in shots on your team. Yeah, he does need to take control, and he's been talking about himself playing the best basketball of his career, and he looks really great.
Yep.
But it's not resulting in wins.
It was. They had a little streak going, and they just drop a stinker like that. And continuing to go here, Booker, Ayton, Suns push back past the Lakers, 108-90, Trey. You want to talk about the game first, or LeBron showing up looking like Fidel Castro with the cigar?
I'll just give you a little taste of the game here, Skeets, because I think the Suns are one of the great broccoli teams in the league right now.
Yep.
You might think Skittles. You might think they're a flashy team with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Frank Kaminsky, but they really take care of business out there. Total broccoli last night. Devin Booker, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in his second game back from his hamstring injury. That's broccoli. Chris Paul, 11 and 9. That's broccoli. And DeAndre Ayton, 19 and 11 on 9 of 11 shooting from the field. That's big time broccoli. There was no Anthony Davis for the Lakers, obviously. DeAndre Jordan is a bag of beans out there. And Ayton just didn't let him off the hook. I thought he was great, putting pressure on the rim all night. Suns, to me, never felt threatened in the second half.
Yep.
Lakers didn't really make a run. So like you're saying, kind of the biggest moment of intrigue was when LeBron went down with that ankle injury. It looked terrible. I was watching before. I was like, uh-oh, LeBron's hurt. He's slapping the floor. He's screaming. Of course, he just tightened up his shoe, didn't miss a second. But it is a little similar to the Nets with Kevin Durant to me, because it's fun watching LeBron play really well. And he's had a nice few weeks here, but he's playing a ton of minutes. He obviously has the most responsibility of anybody on the Lakers. But the difference with Kevin Durant and the difference with LeBron is there's not many reinforcements coming for the Lakers. This is kind of their team. They're stuck being a Skittles team when they need to be a broccoli team. They need to be a defense first, athletic Marvel kind of team to have any sort of success. Last night, they weren't able to tap into that. So I don't know. I'm sure LeBron will be fine. We've seen him go down with an ankle injury, and it looks like it's the end of his season, and he's back 2 seconds later, just like he was last night. But I don't know. He's playing a ton of minutes, and the Lakers need him to play a ton of minutes, and they're still not winning. 3 straight losses for LA. Not great.
What did you think of him? And I think we have a photo, JD, of LeBron walking into the arena last night with the cigar. Now, we've seen him come in with wine before, Trey, but this is wild, especially when he's got a mask on.
Wow, yeah. I guess I hadn't considered the fact that he is carrying a lit cigar with a mask.
Is it lit? Could it be butted out?
You think this is a Will Smith? It's just for the look.
Well,
I don't light it. I just bite it.
That's a great call. But I think he started it and then was on his way into the arena, and then he saw the brick wall and he butted it out, and then he put the mask on and came on in, made sure his Crocs were right. We're not even showing the Crocs. He had Crocs.
Yeah,
on.
He did have Crocs on Trey like that. I know.
Those are sick Crocs, limited edition. I was looking them up on the website. They're already sold out, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
But for me, the first thing I thought of was obviously the Michael Jordan scene from The Last Dance before the Charlotte Hornets playoff series, where he's holding a baseball bat and smoking on a stogie.
Yep.
That's all I thought was like, this is a major LeBron or a major MJ ripoff, but kudos to LeBron. Skeets, you were asking what's the next thing he's going to bring in?
Yeah.
Probably a baseball bat, Wow. If I were guessing, LeBron, Michael Jordan, both baseball bat, big old lipper.
Well, yeah, Nora thought, because I, of course, was like, look at this. You're not going to believe this. He's coming in with a cigar. She thought, though, she said right away, he's dressed like Fidel Castro. So maybe the cigar is just an accessory. Like he's really leaning into the accessories. I was like, wow.
I've never seen Fidel in sunglasses.
Well,
or
yeah.
I mean, if we're talking accessories indoor, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's all green shades.
Yeah, the hat similar.
Army shades.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not.
Just
not wrong.
wild stuff. Just back to the Suns though, quickly.
Hold on, just back to Crocs for a second. Then we'll get to the game.
Okay.
They're limited edition Crocs, as Trey said. They should be limited, as in none. As in no one should buy Crocs.
You don't like them?
Well, I mean, they're fine. But like limited edition? Like only a handful of people can get these Crocs?
Is that right, Trey? I mean, just because of the colorway? Or like, what is the... Oh, there they are. Sold out.
Sold out.
It's those beauties that have gills.
Soleil Bembury, I believe, is the designer, and they look like they kind of look like fingerprints or something all over it. Here, let me get a close view for you.
Cool.
I mean, come on, these are honestly sick, and I would love to have these. So Crocs, holler at your boy.
All right.
Yeah, it's like the innards of a shoe come to life. That's cool. I mean, that's cool. They're comfortable, obviously. Anyways, basketball.
Well, about the Suns, I think we have definitely, and this is like almost like this is a big compliment, I think, and not just our show. I feel like a bunch of other shows where it's gotten to the point where the Suns, like Trey called them a broccoli team here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flashy. They just go out. They kick the snot out of you. Everybody contributes. I mean, they've had some of course, they've been helped out by continuity and haven't really been hit all that hard, unless I'm forgetting, by COVID health and safety protocols. Booker was out with the hamstring injury and all that, but for the most part, their guys are there. And this is good. It's just it's sort of Jazz-like, it's sort of Bucks-like when everybody's playing. They're just awesome. And there's you start to what is there really to say about them? Because they've won. They started the season 1-3.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's the record since? They've lost
24-2.
We're barely talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had the win streak. That was fun. Could get to 20.
Yeah, no.
Came up short. I mean,
it is Jazz like last year.
It is.
I mean, when they went on that streak of, I think it was a very similar number where they lost 2 games of 24 or 25. They just have everybody producing, and it was so evident that one team lacks depth in this game, and the other one has a ton of it. They had 7 guys in double figures, while the Lakers were struggling to find anybody to contribute outside of LeBron and Westbrook, who had a really good game in terms of his offense. But then beyond that, this is a team that gave it away when they traded Montrezl Harrell and KCP and Kuzma for Russell Westbrook. Now they're lacking depth, and they have so many guys at the back end of their careers. I know we've talked about them being old, but those guys aren't contributing. And DeAndre Jordan and Rondo out there and Wayne Ellington, the guy's nickname is the Golden Arm. It takes him a while to get that golden arm ready to rifle, and he only hit 1 shot. DeAndre Jordan, 1 point, I do think, and then Talen Horton-Tucker, the other those 3 starters besides LeBron and Russell Westbrook, he only had 1 basket.
Yeah.
The drop off is real now. This team is really built for the playoffs. Talked about the Heat and how their depth is coming through. We talked about the Heat as one of those teams it's made for the playoffs because it seems like it's top heavy. This Lakers team, Trey said, LeBron will be fine. Yeah, and this Lakers team, you don't want to face them in the playoffs because those guys should be healthy. But the regular season is where they're going to struggle. Anthony Davis now out. They're 0-2. They're 0-2 since he went out. There was a stretch last year when Anthony Davis went down. Bron was healthy for a month. they played 500 ball. So you can see this team playing 500 ball, but right now, because of their lack of depth, they're not getting wins like they were last year. So they went from, almost at the top of the Western Conference standings to in the bottom 4. Now they're already starting in the bottom 4 before these injuries start. So will LeBron stay healthy enough? I mean, he is older. It's true. It's happening to him. So will he be able to stay healthy for a long stretch and be able to buoy this team up? I think they're going to be starting on the bottom of the playoff bracket. That's just the way it's going to look. It's going to be tough sledding. This team, it would be nice if they had a young guy. I mean, Taylor Horton-Tucker has to play better. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. Yeah, really, as the fourth highest paid player, because there's just no youth on this team. And Kendrick Nunn's going to come back, and Malik Monk. We'll see.
Final game. Let's just slip it in here. The Knicks beat the Pistons 105-91 to end a month-long sort of home woes, they were calling it in the headlines.
Home woes.
The big thing from this, Trey, Kemba Walker, who was out of the rotation entirely, started his second straight game, of course, for the Knicks. You got 6 players in health and safety protocols. You got Derrick Rose still out with ankle soreness. And Kemba, the point guard from the Bronx, he delivered again. 21 points, 8 boards, 5 assists through a beauty lob to Mitchell Robinson, who also had a great game. And now we're in this little weird situation here, Trey. And I don't know what you think. Like, when these guys all come back, like, Kemba has to stay in the rotation, does he not? Maybe he's not starting. Maybe it is coming up. Like, what will Tibbs do once everybody is healthy and good to go?
To me, there's got to be somewhere in between where Kemba Walker can be in your rotation and not be playing 40 minutes a game. Like, this is a season where every team is going to need some sort of production from every player on their roster. Depth is going to be very important. So to sit down a guy who is starting for you early in the season, even if it's not performing up to expectations, like, that's a salary slot that you need to get some sort of production from. And as we've seen in this game and the Celtics game, Kemba can still do some things out there. Like, he took 21 shots to get to 21 points. That's not great, but still, that's 21 shots that somebody took. You need somebody with a little bounce. You need somebody who can make a play off the dribble. So to me, it was just kind of ridiculous that Kemba went from playing a ton to playing nothing. Like, figure out somewhere in between, right? Like, play 20 minutes a game, even if it's off the bench. Play 20 minutes a game as a starter, and you're getting pulled in the fourth quarter for Derrick Rose whenever he's back. I don't know what it is, but Kemba Walker is not a bad player. He's just not the Kemba Walker we're used to, unless he's got these revenge games, like playing back in the Garden, getting to start, or going against the Celtics. Maybe that's the key, play him against old teams. Watch out, Hornets. But I think that Kemba still needs to play, and I think that Tibbs is going to see that, he's still talented enough to be able to contribute to a winning basketball team here and there.
Mitchell Robinson, like I said, amazing in this one. 17 points, 14 boards, 8 and 9 from the floor, 3 block shots. The Hornets need to offer a lot for him. And then Knicks need to say, give us twice that, because he would be so amazing on a lot of rosters when he's healthy. That's his thing. Can he stay out there for a couple months? This guy always picks up a weird ankle injury, knee injury, stuff like that. He's always falling and somebody's rolling into him. But this was probably the best game that I can think of that I've seen from Mitchell Robinson in a long time. They're playing the Pistons, so he's helped out there. But man, a team like the Hornets, a bunch of teams could use just that rim running guy that can block shots. But I'm with you. I think the Knicks would be a little silly probably to want to move on him.
They'd be bonkers. He's got to start on this team. And he started the second half because Nerlens Noel wasn't 100% there. And Tibbs said what you just said is his best game of the season. That youthfulness is what the Knicks need. We just talked about the Lakers lacking. He is such a great player who's playing hard. And sometimes the effort wavers a little bit, but those numbers are ridiculous, that 18 and 17. 17, 14?
17,
Why
14.
Do I was 18, 17 in my brain? Anyways, 17, 14. Yeah, I love his youthfulness, his energy. It was against the Pistons. That's right. And I think you guys are over talking Kemba Walker a little bit. I know he made some shots, but he was 3 of 9. We just said Dorian Finney-Smith's numbers weren't good enough at 3 of 9. He was 3 of 9 from 3. He was 8 of 21 from the floor. It looks good in a win. But I think Kemba's destiny is more of a sixth man, just to come in spurts. I think he plays great when he's got 3 weeks off. I just don't know if the knees can do it anymore. He's played 2 games in a row here. I understand Kemba's great when he's out there, and he's a shot maker.
Yeah, but sixth man to me, or seventh man or eighth man, is a much better use of Kemba Walker than no man. Yeah. Just having him sit there on the bench. You're right. I agree. He's probably not a starter at this point in his career, but he can still give the Knicks a little something as a role player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I buy that.
I think what happened there was, remember, the Knicks were losing a bunch of games, mainly because of their defense. He does not give you a whole bunch on that end.
Mm-hmm.
Tibbs is frustrated. Screw this. Let's go with Burks, and let's go with these guys that actually maybe try a little harder on that end. And but I'm with Trey too. He just swung way too far on the pendulum there. Like, the guy can play.
Mhm.
And percentages wise, not amazing even in last night's game, but he had a beautiful play where he attacked the rim. He does have that bounce, like Trey said. Like he can actually dribble and create something. There's not a lot of guys on the roster, especially when Derrick Rose is out, that can do that. So
That's fair.
there's a role for him, and it'll be interesting to see what it is once all these guys are back for the Knicks.
Maybe too many people were talking about Crocs, like we've mentioned in this show, and Tibbs wanted to go with Birkenstocks. Boo! That was a sandal joke. That was a sandal joke in the middle of winter.
Crazy. Okay, well, speaking of that, Trey, you find yourself some new headwear, okay? Because we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Hall of Fame nominees. We're going to talk about what Adam Silver has said about this league not shutting down, and of course, we will get into the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, this classic is also sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/nodunks. We've said it before. We'll say it again. The best way to think about therapy is through a bunch of analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. Nice pun there. We hit the gym or go for a run to maintain physical wellness and prevent injury. And we clean up dog hair constantly to avoid a giant mess in the house. Going to therapy is like all of these. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness. Going to therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why invest in everything else but not your mind? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and No Dunks listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/nodunks. That's BETTERHELP.com/nodunks. I couldn't remember if I said the E after the B. That's why I paused, but BETTERHELP.com/nodunks.
When it comes to athletes, we tend to focus on their physical fitness, but there's another side to the game that's just as important: mental fitness. Calm, the #1 app for sleep and meditation, has teamed up with LeBron James, the king, to help you train your mind and become the champion version of yourself. LeBron and Calm know that your mind is like any other muscle in your body, but you don't have to be a world champion. And I'm okay saying world champion because LeBron has been a world champion on top of being an NBA champion. I don't like the old world champion Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. Anyway, Calm can help you train your brain so you sleep better, reduce your stress, and perform at your best, just like King James. Because for LeBron, sleep is a critical part of his mental fitness routine, which I also learned from the masterclass app on sleep from Matthew Walker. He talks about LeBron James in that. And LeBron says, quote, "Getting good sleep and finding time to rest is one of the most valuable things I can do for my body and mind. From the sound of rain falling on leaves to bedtime sleep stories, Calm puts me to sleep within minutes, which means I wake up ready for any challenge," unquote. So if you head to calm.com/nodunks for a limited time, you'll get 40% off a Calm premium subscription. With Calm, you have access to the nature scenes LeBron loves, like rain on leaves, and so much more, like sleep stories and meditations, so you can be ready for any challenges that life throws your way. Again, for a limited time, our listeners can join LeBron in using Calm and get 40% discount on a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/nodunks. Unlock content to help you focus, ease stress, and sleep better. Get started at calm.com/nodunks, and I'll spell it because it probably sounds completely different to when you guys say it. That's CALM, as in calm like palm of your hand, .com/nodunks.
Oh, okay, so it's not CAHM. Like you
Or
said.
CARM, yeah.
Calm.
When it comes to content, there are a few things I'm great at. Cannonballs, making hats tall, saying whether or not certain things are back, and there are other things I'm not so great at, like flyers, announcements, infographics. basically anything that gives actual information. And that's why I love Canva Pro. Canva Pro is a design platform that empowers you to create and share stunning content in just a few clicks. It's amazingly fast and fun, and with endless premium fonts, photos, videos, and more, you'll have that special someone saying, ooh, stunning content in no time. For just $12.99 a month, you can have 4 teammates and unlock everything Canva Pro has to offer. Designing together has never been easier, as Canva Pro helps you stay organized, on the same page, and on top of team projects with real-time sharing, editing, and commenting. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/nodunks to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/nodunks. Canva.me/nodunks. Design like a pro with Canva Pro.
All right, back with No Dunks here on a Wednesday. We're going to get to the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog and the gifts I've picked for you guys in a second. But a little news. First one, we got Adam Silver, Tas, talking about this league is not shutting down. This is what he's saying. The Athletics got the headline here. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, no plans right now to pause season amid COVID-19 wave. He had a long interview with Malika Andrews, who's damn good at her job, by the way. I thought she was asking some pretty tough questions there to Silver, and he was handling them. But what do you think?
Well, if you don't want to hear a basketball podcast talk COVID, if you're listening to the podcast, skip ahead. If you're watching live, tune out for a sec, because it'll be quick here, but 30 seconds of talk here. I think Adam Silver is indicating what we all knew was coming. We knew that he was never going to pause the season. If you watch the last 2 years, they always tried to muscle through. That's what the NBA has done. So I don't think that's a surprise. I think what was a little surprising were some of the numbers that he threw out, that 65% of eligible players have gotten the booster, and that those players, very, very few of them have contracted the virus, but 90% of the people who have contracted the virus in the league are of the Omicron variant. Shocking.
Right.
And I think it's just the entire thing. The entire situation is just more of an indicator of what we're all going through here. It's not a pandemic. It's an endemic. We're all living through it. The NBA players are just going to live through it. And they are not shutting down. Nothing, frankly, is shutting down unless your local burrito shop is shutting down, which is very unfortunate for some of these restaurants that are contracting the virus and are being responsible. But we knew the NBA was going to muscle through. We just knew it. There is going to be no pause, whether it's before Christmas or even after Christmas, which is quote unquote less important time for the NBA. That ain't coming either. And I think Adam Silver said that there was no real reason that they could come up with for them to pause. Well, the reason is to keep people healthy and safe. But as I just said, everybody in the U.S., it's different from state to state and country to country even, but everybody in the U.S. is comfortable moving on as is, doing the status quo. So that's where we are.
Trey, what did you think of Silver's interview and him saying, no, we're not pausing this? And nice hat, by the way.
Yeah, really, really big hat here, Skeets. Hat so big that you can't even fit it fully in frame.
It's like a tea kettle cover.
Yeah, this thing is crazy. There's actually nothing in here. It's like holding it up as well. But I thought Silver did a good job of explaining the NBA's point of view here. As a business, surely they're thinking, even if we take a break for a week or 10 days or 14 days, when we come back, the Omicron variant still going to be there. There's still going to be COVID. So you can understand why the league would want to continue on, especially considering all the revenue lost during the bubble season and having fewer fans in the buildings last year. The question to me will be, at some point, do more cities and teams reduce capacity for the arenas?
Right.
Because you can understand the players wanting to continue playing and the league wanting to continue them playing as well and staying on TV, that sort of thing. But from the safety standpoint, there's a lot of people in these arenas, which increases the chances of transmission, both to players, to staffers, and back to the fans as well. We've seen the Raptors have already shrank their percentages. They're down to 50% capacity. So I wonder if other cities and other locations are going to do the same, because like Tas is saying, it's hard for the NBA to make a case that if we take a little bit of a break here, there's still not going to be problems in the second half of the season. So I think Adam Silver explained their point of view pretty well, and I thought Malika did a great job. Like you're saying, Skeets. So, yeah, I guess we're just going to be seeing some interesting rosters for the next few months here. And when Silver was speaking from a competitive standpoint, I think he's kind of coming down on the side of everybody's going to be going through this. So every team is going to be disadvantaged at some point.
In other news, this was sort of out of nowhere yesterday. I wasn't expecting this, but the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame announced the list of eligible candidates for the class of 22, including numerous high-profile first-time nominees, including Manu Ginobili, Lee's childhood hero, Tom Chambers, Lindsey Whalen of the WNBA star, referee Joey Crawford is up for introduction.
Get him in.
As well as candidates who have previously been on the ballot in Chauncey Billups and Swin Cash, and it goes on and on and on. So focusing, Trey, just on the NBA side of things, our expertise, if you want to call it that, guys like Manu, Chambers, Muggsy Bogues still there, Tim Hardaway, Sean Marion, Billups, Rip Hamilton, Michael Cooper, Mark Eaton, Mark Jackson, Michael Finley. It goes on and on and on here. Which players, I don't know if you want to like only pick 2 or 3, or maybe you don't even have that many, which ones would get your Hall of Fame vote? You can start with Ginobili. Is he a lock in this thing?
He's my second biggest lock. Joey Crawford is number 1. I think he's a guarantee to get in. The guy's a referee legend, so put him in for sure. And then Manu does get my vote. If you were just looking at his basketball reference page and you didn't have the information that it was Manu Ginobili, you might say 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA third team, 4-time champ. That's good. But is that a Hall of Famer? I still think yes, because it is Manu, a signature player for one of the signature teams in the NBA in the 21st century. Had a flair for the game, had major clutch moments, a genius with the basketball. There's just not a lot of players like Manu Ginobili, which certainly counts. Then you factor in the international side of things and all of the achievements he had there with Argentina. I think he's going to be an absolute lock. And honestly, for me, he's still a lock if you're just considering his NBA resume as well. You know, he kind of intentionally took a backseat, became a sixth man, and was still able to be an all-star as a sixth man. Just think about if Manu Ginobili played 40 minutes a night. Think about if he had the Michael Finley diet of minutes, the kind of stats and the kind of achievements he would have put up. Instead, he was happy to be an excellent team player for an excellent team, put 4 banners up in the rafters as well. So put Manu in, but I would say this does seem to be a good season for one of these guys
Sean Marion
didn't make it the first time around to maybe sneak in.
Right.
Could be a Sean Marion, could be a Chauncey Billups. Those would probably be the first 2 on my list. I would probably go Billups ahead of Marion, but it's close. But to me, Manu's the only one who's an absolute lock.
Yeah. If this was the NBA Hall of Fame, then I think it'd be an interesting debate. Like people would be saying, no, Ginobili doesn't have enough. But it is the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's definitely helped out with what he did with Argentina and the gold medal and stuff like that. So I'm with Trey. I think he's in. I assume you agree. But then it does get a little interesting with some of these guys that have already been on the list, some other first-time nominees like Tom Chambers. Like who would you be leaning towards, Steph?
Well, I guess we're coming to the point in our lives here. We watched the full career of some of these guys. And so a guy who is a favorite in my brain, even though he is not a typical Hall of Fame basketball player, is Sean Marion. I just mentioned him. He is, only a 4-time All-Star, never made an all-defensive team, which is wrong.
That's crazy.
But yes, he doesn't have the accolades. 2-time All-NBA. He doesn't have the individual accolades. But he was one of the best players on the Mavs when they won the championship. And he is, I try when I pitch Sean Marion, I try and pitch it like this. He is the 3rd best player on a championship team for me. And I feel like if you want to sort of liken him to Dennis Rodman a little bit, the Rodman case for getting in the Hall of Fame, he was the best at rebounding. I get that. But Sean Marion, a very, very, very good defender. You know, Rodman probably a little bit better, but obviously Marion contributed a lot more offensively, even if the shot wasn't to your liking. I think he was just so integral to those Suns teams. Yeah, they never won. They got to a couple conference championships, but he was only there for the one, I guess. But either way, to me, that's the kind of player, the hustle guy that I just watched and I loved watching. So yeah, he'd get you an extra possession. He'd stop the other team. And I understand, there's people I've had conversations with that basically just blurt out when they're in their defense, Sean Marion, because he doesn't look like a typical baller, I guess, but he did everything on the floor. He scored enough. And I would probably sneak him in there. And maybe it hurt his case going to the Raptors and to the Heat when he wasn't a number one option, and he obviously didn't look like a number one option. But he sacrificed a little bit as well, just like Manu Ginobili, who obviously sacrificed a ton. I hate per 36 stats, so I won't even mention them. And usually when you say a guy, if he had 36 minutes, there's a reason why he didn't have 36 minutes. But the reason why Manu Ginobili didn't have 36 minutes is because every San Antonio Spur, every single season, why they sacrificed even their all-star appearances every year in and year out, is because they wanted to be better. And I just hope that it doesn't extend to Manu's Hall of Fame resume, which it won't. I mean, 2004, also the international play, they knocked off the American team in Greece, and I happen to be there, so that's another one that's implanted in my brain. It was so amazing me being there behind a computer monitor in this huge industrial building, and I was clicking on my mouse and I was typing, Manu, what a freaking shot. I mean, can you believe that I was there looking at a TV nowhere near the basketball arena? It was so beautiful. But that shot against Serbia in that tournament. Yeah, so those are the two guys I look at, and Joey Crawford, of course, Joey Crawford. I hope he comes up and his speech is just this.
Very almost like DX suck it, but to the side.
But that's he calling a block. That's Joey Crawford. That's what I think of when I think of Joey Crawford.
Do you think? I think if Joey Crawford does get inducted, that he should be allowed to kick somebody out of the Hall of Fame, like toss him. Like Duncan's in trouble if he's sitting in the crowd.
Tim Duncan could theoretically be inducting Manu Ginobili, right? This would be a perfect three-man bit here. Joey comes up and get him out of here.
That would be fun. Yeah, a lot of these names, like I'm with you. Ginobili, he's in. I think he's a lock. But then, wow. Like I said, Chambers and Muggsy and a lot of these Pistons guys like Billups and Hamilton, and then Marion's in the mix, and Mark Jackson, obviously, like this is like the Hall of Very Good here at this point. Like, these are all good players.
Good gourds
for sure. But are they Hall of Fame material? Now, I've said this before. I personally want Chauncey Billups to be into the Hall of Fame, inducted in, because I think that helps Kyle Lowry's chances to eventually make the Hall of Fame. I think there's some comparable numbers there and comparable accolades and stuff like that. So if Billups gets in, well, then I think Kyle Lowry one day gets in. But yeah, I could see why people in the stream team, people listening later, like you may pick one or two of those guys. Like Lee could be on here tomorrow going, how didn't you have Tom Chambers in the mix more? Is that what he sounds like?
You banged it.
Yeah, like he might be going nuts. And like I could get why people, because of the favorites, like you and Marion and stuff
totally
like that, you could be like,
thing.
This guy was, trust me. But then to a large group of people, it's like,
might not make it.
They're good. Yeah.
Great. Trey brought up a good point that this may be a good year for somebody on the periphery to sneak in.
I think
just
like
one of those NBA players.
A Michael Cooper or something like that, like a guy that has been on for a while, they could be helped out because, outside of a handful of names and some of the WNBA names, let's be honest, I think are bigger than a lot of these NBA guys. Yeah.
Whalen,
I think swing cash too. Maybe they sneak in there because they like to have a certain number of men and women to put in. It feels like usually it's like we haven't had many classes that I can remember where it's like two people.
Yeah. Billups is probably the one leading the way.
Think so?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you guys in the stream team, YouTube comments, tweet at us at NoDunksInc. Of a lot of those names I've listed, there's others too that I didn't even mention. Who do you think should make the Hall of Fame? I'm sure it's something we'll be debating over the coming months. And I'm sure Lee will have some thoughts tomorrow too.
Chambers is an interesting one, just because of the threshold of. Now I'm not as old as Lee, so I'm not a favorite. Right. He wasn't a favorite of mine, but the 20,000 point threshold. There aren't many guys who reach the 20,000 point threshold and don't make it in, but Chambers could be one of them. And then it's Joe Johnson, Antoine Jameson, LaMarcus Aldridge. Vince will obviously get in. But those are the handful of guys that didn't get in. And Chambers, how long has Chambers been on there?
He must have.
He retired in 1998. Yeah. That's the crazy
We're
thing
still
to me,
talking
is that he's
about
just now making the ballot.
He wasn't on the ballot. Yeah, that's right. He's a first time nominee.
He's a first time. Oh, so they were just. It seems like they're just adding guys. I mean, why hasn't he been on it before?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he's a 5-time All-Star. Obviously, success with the Sonics, success
Sure.
with the Suns. He's part of Lee's favorite game of all time, the 87 All-Star
he
game.
was there.
MVP, right? Of the 87 All-Star game.
And what about Chambers dunking on Mark Jackson? Those two guys are
that's right.
nominees. Get them up there. Get them up there on stage.
Reenact it.
Recreate it. Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time for a no dunks holiday tradition, guys. The Hammacher Schlemmer catalog. Yes. I've been doing this for a while now, where I leaf through these very weird catalogs from the Hammacher Schlemmer.
Do you think you're better with the German or the Australian accent?
It's a good question. I think I'm bad at both of them. This is America's longest running and definitely dumbest catalog. The Hammacher Schlemmer, guaranteeing the best, the only, and the unexpected for 173 years. That's their tagline. It's right there on the front.
A little wordy.
Guaranteeing the best, the only, and the unexpected
Okay, it's not that wordy.
for 100.
What kind of weird products do you think they had 173 years ago? We got to get a copy of
Like-
that OG Hammacher Schlemmer.
Like some just oil that makes you grow taller and stuff like that. Like just
all snake oils.
yeah.
The musket section.
So we're looking through these magazines. I'm trying to find you guys unique products. Now this year we had a good year here. I'm getting you 2 things each.
Okay.
Yeah. Breaking Tea was good to us this year. You guys were great buying t-shirts, buying hoodies. And here's what we'll do. This is my favorite part of actually the whole Hammacher Schlemmer thing. I'm going to show you guys what I got you. We'll talk about it. What an arf about it. And then you have to guess how much it costs. Right? Yeah, you guys have been way off on a couple of these before. Okay. So, final note. Because you guys are guessing these extraordinary items, I will be eating all of the gift receipts. So please, no sloppy mud pies. Okay. Rest in peace, Liv. Okay, Trey, you're up first, my man. And our first one for Trey, it's the crossbody ergonomic firewood tote. Because you're an outdoorsy type of guy to me, TK.
Yeah.
Check the outfit. He's wearing a lumberjack.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that this back-saving firewood tote built with a patented ergonomic crossbody design that evenly distributes weight to enable one-handed loading and transport. It's similar to a messenger bag, they write. Yeah, no shit. It's a bag. It's made from heavy 18-ounce canvas and can be worn on the left or the right side under the arm. Okay, here's a quick trivia question. According to the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog, how much can most users load and unload? How much weight do you think you can put in that tote?
I thought I was going to have to give my answer in chucks. As in, how many chucks could a woodchuck chuck?
No, how many pounds? How many pounds of wood?
I don't know. The catalog model, it looked to have about 8 logs. What do we? Oh, okay, 6 logs there.
And it looks like it's maxed out.
25 to 30 pounds.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're bang on. I was going to say heavier, but now that you brought up
maybe
the
so.
log number, yeah, I think 30 is the max.
No, you guys are close. 35 pounds, according to the magazine. And look at that little detail there, guys. Integrated LED flashlight illuminates
Nice.
handy.
nighttime woodpile visits. I mean, I guess that's when you are having a fire for the most part.
Fair,
So
for
That would actually be helpful.
Yeah.
Think about how many times you'd be at a fire looking around the premises with your phone flash.
yeah,
That doesn't feel very rustic at all.
no,
But
that's a nice touch.
if it's attached to your arm, yeah. I also like the little sling that you can throw your arm in to distribute that weight. I think this would also be good. You're on a road trip, you get back late and you got a 4-year-old sleeping in the car. Throw him in the sleeve, bring him upstairs to bed, and just put him on down.
Yeah.
Crossbody ergonomic 4-year-old tote.
Yeah, that's the way you carry a baby. You got to be able to slide your arm in there.
Right.
I've learned that. I think I learned that from Laura, actually. You got to sling your arm underneath her, and that's how it works. It would also be good if you fall while you're carrying that and you hurt your arm, and then it's in a sling and you're good.
Okay, guys, Trey, you go first. How much does this crossbody firewood tote cost?
And I get a clarification on the fabric
Yeah,
of the tote.
heavy 18-ounce canvas.
Oh, that's an 18-ounce canvas, huh?
Yeah.
$39.95.
Wow.
Okay. JD, let's go to you. What do you got on that?
I'm going $90.
All right.
Put me down for 9. I think the LED is gonna put it over the
Just to
edge.
carry wood, eh?
Yep,
All
just
right.
to carry wood. Why not?
And Tas?
Are the batteries included?
I believe so.
$99.99.
Oh, damn. Tas, very close. $99.95.
Wow.
What?
Remember, guys, this is the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog. Fine quality. Okay. I got another one for Trey. Let's keep it going here. This, Trey, is a 42-inch outdoor peanut scene. Okay. Now let me read you the bio here. Available only from the Hammacher Schlemmer. This is the 42-inch high scene of the classic Peanuts gang around a Christmas tree. Illuminated by a 3-watt floodlight, the 2D holiday decoration displays Charlie Brown, Sally, Linus, Lucy, and Snoopy celebrating the season on your front lawn. It's made from hammered metal and painted in bright holiday colors. It's a 3-piece scene that secures to the ground with 4 metal stakes. So I wanted to get this for you, Trey, because, well, you already said it off the top of the show, you wanted to start saying good grief more in your life.
Yeah, I did, Skeets. Good
Yeah.
grief. What a phrase. You only hear it around Charlie Brown. Shout out to Charlie Brown. Just got a 10-day hardship exemption
That's right.
with the Dallas Mavericks. Good grief. But yeah, it's also one of those words you just don't ever think to say. You hear it once, you're like, oh, I would love to say that. But instead, we end up saying good gourd way more often than good grief. I will say, this looks bootleg to me.
Oh, wow. Really?
What is Charlie Brown wearing? I don't ever remember him wearing a yellow jacket. He wears a yellow shirt with a black stripe across it. He wears a red jacket. But a yellow jacket?
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't noticed that.
I don't know.
I mean, they got the Peanuts branding, though. I mean, it's not a...
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little thrown by that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a new colorway.
He does
New
wear
Charlie
a
Brown
yellow.
dropped.
He wears a yellow shirt though, doesn't he? With
Yeah,
the
but-
jagged.
I thought he wears a yellow jagged shirt,
Yeah.
but I thought he wore a red jacket when he's going with a jacket.
Oh, wow. This guy knows his peanuts. Well, how much?
Don't we all?
How much do you think this would cost to put on your front lawn, Trey?
I mean, licensed as a licensed product,
Yeah.
that's a pretty penny right there. A solid premium. We're gonna upcharge so literally a flap of canvas was $100.
Right. This is
a
hammered
licensed-
metal. Yeah.
Licensed hammered metal. $179.95.
Okay. JD?
Me? Let me think. I have to say that I do like it. I
You
like
do?
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
I do like it.
You guys can swap gifts. if you want.
yeah, I mean, maybe we'll trade off every year, Trey. Yeah, I think I'm going to go a solid 200 for this
Okay.
because of the licensing, because of the hammered metal. And I actually think it's kind of cool because my neighborhood is like full of inflatables and I hate inflatables.
Ooh.
I hate them with a passion.
Okay.
But this is kind of nice. And I like the way that it blended with the, with the house in the back. It's very well staged, this photo.
Yeah, it's
So,
It looks great.
yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to say 200.
Okay, 200 and Tas?
Wow, yeah, everything in this catalog is expensive. And then they tell you that this is licensed. They're basically screaming to you, this is expensive, like really expensive. So I'll go 300.
Wow.
Ooh.
I can't believe this. Trey nailed it. It's $179.95.
Wow.
Nice. Very nice. Trey.
Incredible work there, TK.
Good grief.
Yeah, good.
Sign me up.
Good.
Skeets, usually these are joke gifts, but I would use both.
Yeah,
I would
know.
love to have both of these. We've been talking. We need to step up our front yard decorations game. You know, we put a line of lights on the gutter. We put up a fake tree on the porch. But I would love to have like a ground display of something. And I'm with JD. I much prefer whether it be like a hammered metal classic or maybe like one of those like plastic just lit from the inside vintage Santa Claus. Those are
Right.
much cooler
Yeah.
to me than the big nylon inflatables. But we were talking on our drive down here. Someday the nylon inflatables are going to be the vintage thing. And that's going to be super weird, right? Like eventually we'll have like a 3D light model
Right.
of
Yeah.
Charlie Brown in
Right.
the front yard, right? Like you can walk through a hologram.
Yeah, you're right.
And we'll be like, oh, look at this kitschy old wacky inflatable arms guy I got. So someday, Skeets, you'll be getting me a Charlie Brown inflatable. 20 years from now, I'll be like, oh, back in 2021.
Speaking of retro things coming back, I got to jump in here with this basketball update. Woj reporting Joe Johnson signing a 10-day contract with the Boston Celtics.
Wow.
The team that drafted him. The team that drafted him 20 years ago. You just mentioned 20 years, right? They drafted him 20 years ago.
Look at that.
He's going to play.
That's
And
crazy.
We just mentioned him as part of the 20,000 point club. Had to squeeze that in there, and he's going to play tonight. Apparently, he's available.
Wow.
tonight.
All right.
Joe's ready.
Joe Johnson, the Armadillo Cowboy, back in our life.
I love it.
Okay. JD, we're going over to you
Ooh,
next. Yeah.
nice.
Now, you said that I guess it was last week that Rachel had the entire first season of Fraggle Rock on
Yes.
DVD, but you were like, how the hell am I going to watch this?
Right. Yeah.
I got your gift. I know how you're going to watch it. I got you the best portable DVD player, JD. Look at that gold sticker. That means something, doesn't it? This portable DVD player was rated the best by the Hammacher Schlemmer Institute. This is from the Institute.
Wow.
Because it produced the highest picture and sound quality. It was the easiest unit to operate and had a superior run/charge time, JD. 15.5-inch screen there, displayed crystal clear video, and its audio was nearly flawless. I know you love audio, JD. Yeah,
Flawless.
Nearly. So apparently this can run up to 6 hours on full charge.
Wow.
So there you go. I don't know how long the Fraggle Rock season 1 is, but
Oh, it's epic. I think
it's like
26 episodes probably. So yeah, you could probably.
it comes
watch
this
that
comes
whole
with a
thing.
charger. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I
Uh,
like it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. How much do you think this costs?
You know, I think it's going to be Hammacher Schlemmer branded gold sticker
From the Institute.
From the Institute. This is $2.99.
Okay.
$2.99 for sure.
Tas, you went, wow, that's too high in your mind.
I would think so. I think I'm just going round numbers now. As in like round hundreds, but you got to take out 5 cents to get it accurate.
Yeah, it's
I
always
think.
95. It's always 95.
$199.95.
Okay. And Trey, what do you think?
$59.95.
Wow.
Wow.
See, this guy thinks.
I'm going way low. Come
Right,
on. A portable DVD player nowadays,
It should be.
this should be cheaper than a bag of canvas.
It should be.
Of all the gifts that I showed Nora that I was thinking of getting you guys, and I did this game with her, hey, guess the price. This one really threw her for a loop. She was thinking what TK thought. $179.95.
Wow.
Yeah, same as
Come
the
on.
Peanuts outdoor
You're good
scene.
at this, Tess.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
crazy.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot.
This is actually something that every house needs.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Wow, that's an interesting thought. I think there might be some truth to that.
Yeah, just to play one DVD. I gave away a DVD player, and I'm yearning for one right now. I
But you can
need
borrow
it.
mine.
Yeah,
just
some
to
swapping
play
going
that
on
one
here.
thing that you need every 18 years or something. Like you'd never need it, but that one time you need it.
Hey, listen, sometimes the internet goes out.
Right.
A DVD player comes in handy
Right.
because you know everything is streaming. So, God, what do we usually watch? Like The Matrix or something.
Well, that's funny you said that. So Eric Freeman had a tweet going around yesterday. And he asked, what is the most DVD movie? And he says he thought it was The Matrix.
Right.
And a lot of people were saying, I think Jason Concepcion said it was Snatch.
Oh, good one.
Also a great one. Yeah, so I throw that question to everybody in the stream team, everybody listening later. Trey, is there another? Like, I think The Matrix is such a good one. A DVD.
The Matrix is literally the first DVD I ever got.
Yeah.
And I remember like when DVDs were first popping off, people were like, you gotta get The Matrix. They got special features. Whoa! Yeah, man, they put extra features on it. Unbelievable stuff at the time. Yeah, Matrix for me, definitely number one, but I know I had Snatch on DVD too.
Yeah, me too.
That's in the mix, and obviously I'm keeping Boiler Room. That's gonna be my one I need this portable DVD player for. Every 18 years, I fire it up and see what Giovanni Ribisi's up to.
I think I got another one too, because I was really thinking about this tweet. What about Swordfish?
I have never seen that.
That was a big DVD movie, at least when I was living with the Thody and the Brody.
It's like
Swordfish on DVD.
It's front and center, always on the Columbia House was Swordfish.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
so that's probably why it's in every household. But I never bit. I never got the Swordfish. So
Okay. All right, JD, I got another gift for you.
Ooh, nice.
You didn't see. Well, I guess you sort of like the DVD player, but Tas might be borrowing it. This is weird.
What the hell?
You like wine, right?
I do like wine. I enjoy wine a lot.
Okay, well, this is how it's titled is so odd to me. Your wine cork Lazy Susan. This is
Okay.
the Lazy Susan that preserves over 300 wine corks from favorite vintages. It smoothly spins 360 degrees on ball bearings, so guests can easily select from an assortment of aperitifs or libations without reaching across one another. 8 evenly spaced feet protect table surfaces from scratches, and the trim is made of mahogany.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So the weird part to me of this one, your wine cork Lazy Susan.
Right.
And I was like, does that mean I or you, whoever gets this gift, has to fill the middle with the wine cork?
That's what it is insinuating.
It's sort of insinuating that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Are you guys kidding?
No, it's really weird to me that it's labeled that way. But JD, like, I thought you'd love that.
I do love it. When I saw the picture at first, I was very skeptical.
Right.
Very
It looks
skeptical.
like shit.
It looks awful. Look at it.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
Okay. you
Why
guys are
would
going
you
a
want to
little
put
too far.
your drinks on a Lazy Susan? That's another thing I don't understand.
Whip them around.
Well, when you're drinking wine, usually one person is pouring. They're going to pour on their side,
Yes.
and then Lazy Susan it around.
Okay, I guess.
I
It
mean-
seems like a very, in this house, a recipe for spills, right? Like
totally.
that thing is spinning around. I'm
And-
going to have a child on that thing spinning around.
Yeah, and it's like 2 feet wide.
Yes.
Most arms are far longer than this. You can't really be lazy with it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's dumb. It is dumb.
It's dumb.
pretty dumb.
It's dumb, but I love it.
Okay.
I love
How
it.
much do you think it costs?
Wow. Mahogany
Yep.
corks not included though.
Well, we're not sure.
We don't know. I don't know. Put me down for what? $100. $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tas?
I actually hope the corks aren't included because I've had a huge bowl of corks in my house for a long time. I think we got rid of it, but yeah, we've collected them for some no reason, for no reason. But you know, sometimes
Well, you never know when a Lazy Susan's going to show up in
an
your life.
empty Lazy Susan.
Yeah.
This is the moment. This is what I've been waiting for to make some Lazy Susan. I think I'm going to go again $199.95.
Okay.
Wow.
Trey?
Well, I know lumber's been hard to come by lately.
That's
Supply
a
chain
point.
issues. Corks seem to be plentiful. I'll say that. Does this have a
Actually,
flat surface?
I don't think corks are plentiful. I
Oh.
think there's a cork shortage going on. I could be wrong, but
Oh. So we got a cork shortage and we got wood shortage.
yeah.
Is there a flat surface over top, Skeets?
I
Like
think it's-
over like is there glass over
Glass.
the
I
cork?
believe it's glass.
Yeah, it looks like glass.
Oh, really interesting.
Doesn't say in the write-up, amazingly.
We got a glass shortage, I've heard from the framers.
Right.
So this is going to be expensive. $149.95.
Trey is very close. $139.95. Corks included.
Corks included.
Amazing.
Wow, we don't know, but I think they are. It'd be weird for them to take a photo of a bunch of corks in there, and then it shows up at your house and there's no corks in it.
All right.
But they're your wine.
But it's
Yeah.
I know why do they say that?
And I mean, Tess is right. We've got a giant container of corks as well. You know, we got some decade-old corks, and we're just literally like been looking for 10 years. What are we gonna do with these?
Well, but okay,
Keep them
but
in
hold
a
on.
jar?
So
Throw
if-
them on a Lazy Susan.
If
Why
this
not?
comes empty, are there instructions? Put it back up, JD, on how to put the corks in? Because look at like the intricate like leg,
Yeah.
this is like masonry work here. That
It looks like a rune of some sort.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but they mentioned that they're vintage corks, so I think they.
Well,
if you read in between the Schlemmer lines,
Vintage corks.
so I think that they've already been. Corks are vintage. You talked about the inflatables. Everybody's going twist cap, aren't they?
yeah, it's
You're
true.
right.
Yeah,
A
you're
lot
right.
of twist offs.
Yeah,
For sure.
Because there's a shortage.
There's
of
a cork shortage, glass shortage, mahogany shortage, a wine shortage. Nah, we're still good there.
This looks like a Survivor puzzle.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
It could be.
I hate the glass. Actually,
you don't want to see the corks.
I want to feel. I want to feel the
Feel
corks.
them.
Oh, you
Yeah.
want to feel them? Wow. Then you really couldn't put a wine glass on a Lazy Susan.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, let's get to Tas here. We'll save Lili's gifts for tomorrow, but Tas, I found you to be the most difficult to buy for, if I'm being
so
honest.
easy. I'm a mark for these Hammacher Schlemmer
Well,
categories.
okay. Nora thought this was a weird one, but I think
Thanks.
you would like this.
Thanks.
It's the blanket sweatshirt. All right.
Yeah,
Now
I don't
stick with
mind
me
it.
here. Stick with me. This is the oversized garment that provides head to toe warmth for reading on the couch, watching a documentary on television, or studying in the dorm, combining the benefits of a blanket and a sweatshirt. It features an oversized hood and roomy pockets for warming the hands or storing a smartphone or remote, with 100% polyester fleece face and 100% polyester fleece lining. My favorite part, one size fits all. That's bullshit. Reversible with full front zipper, machine wash, and it's imported. Comes in black, blue, and gray. Now, Tas, I thought you'd like this because you are, in fact, we've caught you on the show before, I believe. You're a man that likes to sniff things. Like
Sometimes.
yeah. And don't you think that looks like a sniffable sweater to me? A blanket / sweatshirt?
Yeah. Well, it's a blanket.
Yeah.
It's a hoodie and it's a blanket.
I could just see Tas wearing that and taking a nice big whiff of it.
Yeah. I just washed some blankets recently in my home. Whew, got a compliment from my wife. Hey, honey, these smell so good. So, yes, I would like to whiff one of those.
Okay.
And I love sweating in my sweatshirts. Looking at that
It
thing
looks warm.
looks too hot. That's a good get. That's a good get. I would be happy to take both of those home.
You like both colorways. I can get one for Danny too. We can redo that photo.
Sure. So am I giving you the price of one or two?
No, one.
Oh,
one,
okay.
one.
This is tough. $89.95.
Okay, Trey.
Ooh.
Did you say it has an oversized hood?
It does. It does.
Cool.
It's a handmade over there.
I look like the top of my head is a crayon.
You look like what was the Star Wars Spaceballs? Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah.
Darth helmet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing expensive. Is this a Snuggie? Is this like a zip-up Snuggie?
I mean,
basically?
I think it's sort of like that. Yeah.
Snuggie derivatives. Give me, man. Honestly, that wood carrying being $100 is really changing my game on this. $119.95. That's too expensive. I'm going down $89.95.
Okay.
Wow.
And G.
Yeah, I hate this thing. I hate it. Like you're talking about sniffing it. The polyester within a day is gonna stink. Like it's gonna be so gross. But I think that we say it every year. It's for old people. Old people will pay anything to be warm. So I'm gonna say $150.
Oh my god!
$150.
You guys are going overboard now. The Hammacher Schlemmer is not that crazy. $49.95.
Wow,
that's affordable.
That's actually pretty good.
That's a good deal.
Yeah,
that's a good deal. I'm finding the good deals for Tas. All right, final one. I felt bad because I got you clothes, right? No one really wants clothes, so I got something that I think Tas will really get a kick out of.
This is neat.
It is a piece from every MLB ballpark. This is the unique collectible that lets a baseball fan own a genuine piece of each MLB playing field. The next best thing to visiting every MLB stadium in person and requiring far less time and effort, this MLB-themed U.S. map includes a sealed capsule of game-used dirt collected from all 30 MLB diamonds. An inset photo of each stadium points to its location. Each capsule is labeled with a certificate of authenticity hologram from Major League Baseball presented in a wood frame.
30 little piles of dirt.
This feels like such a scam.
Huge
Yeah.
scam.
I mean, I think also too, like, you know, you were just saying earlier, JD, like, wow, they took a nice photo of that Charlie Brown, setup. Like, look, this photo is horrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
You really don't even know what's going on in it. I guess there's a lot of detail, but they are saying you guys are calling. You're calling bullshit on this dirt?
No, I would love to have a certificate of authenticity from
yeah.
each ballpark. As you guys know, as we've said, I got duped by buying a Vince Carter autograph without a certificate of authenticity, and it didn't end up being Vince Carter's autograph. Yeah, the photo, the image, really puzzling because it's showing you, it's depicting there's a baseball helmet there's a glove.
Yeah.
And so it feels like
Yeah, what's going on
there's
here?
a lot, but no, there's just, if you look at the actual lines from every city, they all end up at a picture of dirt. So I guess that's what you're getting.
Right.
There you go. Dirt.
Oh wow, some
What?
of the dirt is lighter.
Why is
some
it
of the
a-
dirt is darker.
Why is it a topographic map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that
It's a
part.
great
Why do we need to see where the mountains are? It's weird, that part.
So what?
Very accurate. I
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
So what you're getting is 30 little containers of dirt
Yep, from each MLB diamond.
with a little map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there Canadian dirt there?
I'll go back.
Let's go
Can
back
you
to
even
the
bring
map.
that across the border?
Yeah,
You
you
get
gotta pay
stopped
duties
at
on that.
customs. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, I guess you got to factor in the custom fees that you're paying here into the price. So I'm going to go, this can't be expensive. Gosh, $149.95.
Okay. What do you think, Trey?
Oh wow, 30 dirts, the dirty 30. Man, I would hate to have this thing. I would, man. The only way I would want this in my house is if I had went to every single baseball field. Otherwise, people will see this and be like, "Oh, you went to every baseball stadium?" No,
it's the next best
It literally
thing.
says in the write-up, it's the next best thing, and it says also bracket if it requires far less time and effort.
That's a good point. Would you open the jars so you could touch each dirt to act like
No,
you've been
because
there?
that would spoil it.
No,
It's-
definitely
it
not.
contaminate it.
It's dirt.
Contaminate the dirt. Great point. The most expensive element in this is all the glass jars. There's a lot of them.
Shortage on glass.
$109.95.
Okay, JD, take it home, man. What do you?
I'm going 29.99. I'm going way low.
Guys, you guys are like so far off on this one. It's insane. This is a unique collectible. 30 jars of dirt in one beautiful thing. $349.95.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, JD.
Thank you for spending so much on this dirt.
Yeah. You got the nicest gift. You're welcome.
Amazing.
Final one here. I like this one's for the office, okay? Because I was like, we got to get something in this new classic factory studio that we got going here. But it's like, yeah, we could go like a pinball machine. We could go like a basketball hoop. I mean, we could do the cliche things. But I thought, let's take it back. Take it back to our roots, our Canadian roots. And I know TK has also done this before, this sport. Yes, guys, it's the indoor air-propelled curling game. Take a look at this. Look at the family having fun there in the living room.
Air hockey, but curling? Air curling?
That's
Is that
right,
Wow,
Tas.
I love it.
So I'll read this to you. This is a new product from the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog. This is the curling game that replaces stones of granite with air-propelled discs that hover when launched by hand. The traditional curling sheet is replaced by a matte color to look like the ice, and it has a scoring area just like the real game. Each of the 6 included 7.5-inch diameter stones, in air quotes. They require 4 AA batteries, which power a small fan that enables each to hover over the playing mat
Oh,
there,
that's interesting.
as if gliding over ice. Yeah, and each stone lights up when it's launched, too. Ages 4 and up, so we're good. A lot of batteries we're going to be going through here
My
in
God.
the Classic Factory. But what do you think of that, JD? Why don't you go first on the indoor air-propelled curling game? Would you want that in here?
No, this
What?
is. It looks. I love the idea. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I love the idea, but I mean, where are the brooms? Where are the brooms? There are no brooms.
Well, you have brooms.
Right, but I don't. I'm saying I don't think
BYOB.
you're not going to need the brooms because they hover above the mat. So this isn't curling. This is something different. It's basically 8 Roombas that will hover over the air. I mean, how do they stay where they? I just don't believe that it works.
Yeah.
I also think that it's going to be very expensive.
Wow.
Not even including the batteries. I mean, I don't know. Put me down for $350.
Okay. Tas?
Yeah. My guess has always been $199.95. It feels like, so I'm gonna. Too high. $149.95.
And Trey, what do you think? Indoor air-propelled curling game.
I would love to play this one time. Looks like a short runway, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah.
It's 11.
But
It's 11 feet long, I believe.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I think it's actually 11 feet in that picture, but I believe Hammacher Schlemmer, they would never lie to us. $229.95.
Guys, this is a steal. $99.95 for that.
That's pretty good.
Now,
That is
would
pretty
you
good.
be more intrigued by that sort of game if it was an indoor air-propelled bowling game? I think you would, JD, because I'm with you.
Yeah,
My issue is going to be you're going to throw those stones.
Yeah,
How are they going to stop?
exactly. How
Except
do they
they're just going to smoke the other one. Okay.
Right.
But if it's a little fan in there that's making it glide,
Yeah.
isn't it just going to keep going? So at least with bowling, you want to smash that.
But you wouldn't need, and it would just be ball. You would roll the ball. You
Well,
don't
why
need
is it
to-
air-propelled bowling game then? Maybe
They have an air propelled.
Yeah, that's what I
ball.
just said. Yeah.
Each pin is hovering above.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Weird. Very weird.
Okay.
Very weird.
That's it for today's edition of the Hammacher Schlemmer catalog. Some great gifts, eh?
So really,
Beautiful.
really good. I think this is your best one yet.
Do you guys want some genuine Irish flannel lounge pants?
Sounds cozy.
Yeah, there's a lot of cozy stuff in here. People were saying I should get something for Luna, but it's a lot of squeaky toys.
Ooh.
We don't do that.
No.
No, yeah,
Try to avoid that.
because you try to tell a dog, you're walking a dog, hey, don't chase that squirrel. And then you give your dog something that basically resembles a squirrel, furry thing that they can chew and bite on.
point.
It's confusing for a dog, So I couldn't find anything good for Luna. But I do have some things for Lee, but I'll tell him tomorrow.
Great.
All right. We'll take one more break here. When we come back, tweet of the night, pick 'em results, and a little bit more. Don't go anywhere.
So, guys, I've searched for a lot of sus stuff on the internet. I'll throw out some examples. I recently Googled the effects of canine shock collars on humans. That's for possibly a pick 'em payoff coming up. Don't worry, Skeets. It doesn't seem that detrimental. I've searched for Spanx for men. Not gonna lie. I Googled Evan Fournier just to see.
Don't do it.
Big mistake. Mistake. Don't do it. And I know what most of you are probably thinking. Why don't you just use incognito mode? Well, let me tell you something. Incognito mode does not hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history, your internet service provider can see every single website you've ever visited. Oh my God, I gotta get ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't see the sites you visit. They don't need to know about all that Velma cosplay you look at. It keeps all of your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. Most of the time, I don't even realize it's on. It runs seamlessly in the background, and it's so easy to use. All you have to do is tap one button, and you're protected. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET. Visit our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/NoDucks. And you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's ExpressVPN, ExpressVPN.com/NoDunks. ExpressVPN.com/NoDunks to learn more.
Last week, No Dunks received a mail question asking us to name something we were proud of accomplishing later in life. I said I was proud of learning how to cook, which is something that I have not done. No, not at all. But I do plan to be very proud of accomplishing that later in life, kind of talking it into existence. That same day, the very same day, at my doorstep, I received a box of HelloFresh. Now, if there was ever a sign, well, there she was, sent by the delivery gods. And I almost got to cooking right then and there, but it was 10:30 at night. So I waited until the next day to cook me some pork lettuce wraps. The ingredients looked great, although I didn't have high hopes for myself, but they turned out to be delicious, very tasty. I even got approval from my chef wife. She was proud of me, just like I was proud of myself. The future, well, it kind of turned into the present right then and there. The pork lettuce wraps served 4, but they were so good, the 2 of us finished the whole thing. Well, I did, really. HelloFresh meals are ready in around 30 minutes or less. Even for a rook like me, it took me under half an hour, although my wife did doubt that part. Proved her wrong. Plus, with their quick and easy meals, 20-minute recipes, or low prep and easy cleanup options, you can get food on the table even quicker. Save on average over $65 a month when you order HelloFresh instead of grocery shopping. That's more money to spend on presents and activities. Your partner will love that. Go to HelloFresh.com/NoDunks14 and use code NoDunks14 for up to 14 meals and 3 free gifts. 4 free meals and 3 free gifts at HelloFresh.com/NoDunks14 and use code NoDunks14. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Back with No Dunks. It's a long podcast today. 2 magazines. A lot of gifts. Apologies for taking so long there, but man, that's fun, isn't it? Before we get to tweet of the night, can we see if Trey has new headwear? He's had a whoa. Hey, I don't own this NFT.
Favorite hat in the house. Wear it every single year I come back, but I had to save it for the end of the show because wearing a full face mask. It's hot in here, Skeets.
Wow.
I got a hot nose.
Oh, you look really weird.
Why? What looks weird about this?
I mean, I'm just trying to think if I saw you, I don't think I would know it was you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
You don't think you would know this?
No,
is me?
honestly, like I keep looking at you going like,
I recognize those teeth.
yeah. It looks funnier when you just see the sort of the stash. Yeah.
It's like a superhero's first attempt at a homemade costume,
right.
you know?
All right. Wow, this has been a real treat. A giant hood, a tall hat, and then it's a full face mask. It's not a
ski mask, I guess you would probably call it.
Yeah.
It's not a balaclava.
It's not a balaclava?
Yeah, sure. Balaclava.
Yeah.
I guess that works.
Are you making baklava for the holiday?
Yeah.
I have to catch myself every time. I was going to say baklava when I wanted to say baklava.
When I
was happy you said it.
When I added that last syllable in there, I wondered, is that how you say balaclava? Yeah, that's how you say it.
All right, well, let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow. Twitter.
Tweet of the night, and it's really more of a follow-up from a tweet and a video that Tas played yesterday of him running. He was trying to outrun a velociraptor, as I remember. So here it is, and he tweeted himself yesterday. This is a video of me running, quote unquote. I'm being vulnerable now. Just tell me I'm faster than Darren Ravel. And there's Tas again. And here's the replay.
Oh, yeah. That's not a replay.
Well, this is a different one.
Oh, you're winded.
Yeah.
I don't know. I slowed down at the end there. It was a real Usain Bolt there. Slowed down at the end.
Yeah. Well, the tweet of the night comes from Darren Ravel, who responded to you with simply, "You are."
Wow.
So damn right I am.
Congratulations, Tas. I'm sure you must be very pleased.
Yes, I would love to race Darren Ravel. I that was not the 40 as everybody who's watched Darren Ravel's video.
Right. He did the 40-yard dash.
He was the 40-yard. I did the 40-foot dash.
Right.
Nor even close. I don't know if I could run 40 yards right now. Anyways.
Yeah, of course. Take a break. You're a Peloton man now.
Yeah, of course.
Trey, what did you think of Tas's video there? You weren't with us yesterday.
I thought it was very brave of you to post that, Tas.
Yeah, and what I posted was me looking faster than what JD just reposted was me looking slower. So I wasn't that brave. Like the second
I thought you actually
was,
looked pretty fast. Like I was impressed with the acceleration from 0 to 100.
I agree. I think he looks faster on the blocks, and then it slows dramatically, sort of in the last couple strides. Yeah.
That's an accurate assessment.
You would.
I go from kind of fast to slow.
Would you race Darren Ravel?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. That would be.
I don't
awesome.
even have to think twice.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to race Darren Ravel?
Yeah. That's okay.
Well, I mean, why would you even ask? What, like,
no.
why-
I don't know.
Who wouldn't want to race Darren Ravel? I think we'd all win. Obviously, you'd win.
Well, who would win between? Because I saw people after we posted that yesterday saying like, order of speed for the No Dunks crew. Like I do like to think I'd probably beat you guys,
Yeah.
but
Well,
then
we had those Olympics.
how would it go? Yeah, like who would be second, third? Who gets the silver, bronze, Trey, in your mind? For
How long's the run?
I mean, I guess we're doing a 40-foot velociraptor dash.
A 40-foot dash?
Yeah.
That classic method of racing.
Wait, it's 40 feet?
No, yeah, let's do 40 yard. Let's do a 40-yard
Yeah,
dash.
I can hang if it's a 40-foot
Yeah,
dash.
you might
Anything
win.
longer than that.
Yeah, it's like 2 strides.
I don't know. I'm slow out of the blocks.
Oh.
You know, I'm big. I don't got that bolt acceleration. If I can somehow come third, I will consider that a massive accomplishment.
Okay.
I'm planning on bringing up the boost. You know, if we're all running for sure.
Okay. Well, we might have to, once we're all back here in the Classic Factory, open up the garage doors, hit your dead end street, and have ourselves a good old fashioned
Have a
street
little
race.
run.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our good old fashioned street race.
Am I in
You
this?
know I'm
Yeah.
showing up in a tank top. Doesn't
You
matter
don't
what
want
time.
to. You don't want to run, JD?
Oh yeah, I do want to run. I will run.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll have the defibrillator on hand.
Oh boy.
Because I will do anything to not come in last. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
Wow. You're,
Yeah, I'm very competitive. I know I'm not coming in first, but I will be beating whoever.
this
And then
is
I may
wild.
die. Like it'll be like, leaving it literally all on the field because I will not be beaten.
Okay.
We had that race. I guess it was like a 150-meter race with
Yes.
Renee Young and Cam Stewart.
Yes.
Right.
We did.
I think you were first. I was second.
Yeah.
Renee, then Cam.
Renee, then Cam. That's
Mhm.
right.
Wow.
This is, and everybody
Is that
was
accurate?
doing this. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. We went 1-2 in
Yeah.
that. We did well. Then we lost. Then we lost in the wrestling segment
the
of the
portion
show.
of that
Cam
Cam.
and Renee destroyed us.
They're evil.
Pick 'em results. Brought to you by BetMGM. Last night's game was the Blazers Pelicans. Portland was favored by 1.5, but they just straight up lost, as we talked about. New Orleans wins. That's a victory for Trey. He's 12-3. What a record, Trey. Lee 8-7. Oh, and that's a big victory for me because I was on the opposite side of things with you, Tas. I won. I'm 6-9. Nice. You lose. You're 6-9. Also nice.
It's destiny. We're here in the studio, us two guys. It's got to be us coming down to the wire. I just hope I don't have to race you as my punishment.
That's your pick and pay. You guys have to race me. I like that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you always have to be watching in this day and age. In this day, you got to be watching the schedule to see if games are canceled. So as this show is going on, I'm watching Shams Charanya's Twitter account, and first he announced that the Nets Blazers game on Thursday has been postponed.
Okay.
So that's tomorrow night. No Nets Blazers. And then him and Mark Stein reporting tonight that the Chicago Bulls Toronto Raptors game could, not quite yet, but could be postponed. Apparently some of the G League guys for the Raptors
Oh,
may not be able to escape health and safety protocols, may not be able to get out of the protocols. So that's where we stand. It's still a could, and that was our game for tonight. The Bulls favored by 9.5 points over the Toronto Raptors.
It has been postponed.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to pick another game right
I
now
wanna
on the
race.
spot? Or you want to just like, we'll take a night off. We're tied, and we'll head into the holiday break on tomorrow night's show by picking hopefully a game that gets played
Let's do
tomorrow
that.
night. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Okay. Who were you going to take out of curiosity?
It's kind of hard.
What was the line?
to
Bulls were
take-
favored by 9.5.
That's a big.
Yeah.
That's a big one. It's kind of hard to go against the Raps, but I was prepared tonight to go against the Toronto Raptors
Oh, I was going to
with the way their lineup has been
The Raps are like
decimated.
short 10 guys or something like that. Okay, so that game is unfortunately postponed. Trey, we won't be talking about the Bulls being back on tomorrow's show. But it's a bummer.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is a bummer. Agree.
Okay.
Were you planning on going to that basketball hooping game?
I was not going to that basketball hooping game. The Bulls are on a huge homestand, actually, while I'm back in Illinois. I think they got 5 straight home games. So it's kind of take your pick of what we're going to be doing. So we got some plans later on today. So no Bulls tonight. Ended up going on my anniversary, spending time with the bros, the way it was meant to be. You know?
Excellent. Well, email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok @NoDunksInc. Grab yourself an Athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. Get yourself some NoDunks merch if you want. Go to nodunks.com for hoodies and shorts and mugs, t-shirts, all that good stuff. Trey, before we let you go, I did have a question for you. Oh, yes. What's your take on playing Clipper Bros still at the end of the show because we're all going to be back in studio? Tas was thinking maybe we don't need the Clipper Bros anymore. I said, come on. It's the bro. What's your opinion?
I think we got to keep the bros. I'm pro bros.
Pro bros.
Yeah, we'll see once you get in here. It's a different feel with the bros.
It's true. He's still remote.
He's still remote. It's the same feeling he's had for a year and a half. So we'll see. We'll see about the bros. I'm not anti bros.
Well, the bros predated being a remote podcast, though, right? So, I mean, we've got experience with bros in the flesh, if you will.
I agree. I'm pro.
They help make
bros.
it a classic. They're part of the factory, one of the many components.
That's right.
One of the many components just got delivered. I'm looking outside the garage right now. I saw a box being transferred.
There's the door. I heard the door.
We're getting an item put up on the wall for tomorrow's show.
There's the dog
there
barking. Here we go.
This is exciting stuff.
Easy, Cosmo. Easy. All right, Trey, thanks so much for joining us. Lee Ellis will be back on tomorrow's show. We'll do our final show of the week, and then we're on the holiday break. So we'll see you then. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, don't need this anymore. Let's see if I can pick that up.
All right.
Don't need this anymore. Just got something better delivered.
Embrace the day, people.